Murphy's law has a mathematical flavor. Murphy's law, if you say Murphy's law, we know is that Murphy's law says that whenever whatever can fail will fail. But mathematically, this is incorrect because Murphy's law is inconsistent without a second statement. The second statement is Murphy's law is true for everything except Murphy's law. Otherwise, Murphy's law is inconsistent mathematically. So let us, every day as a faculty member, I come and face the situation where uh, where we really have to decide what we want a new generation student to do. We've heard Harare, we have heard everything, but we really want to know ourselves. We decide what when we break it down. So the world is full of difficult problems, problems which are not one dimensional, problems which have multiple solutions, problems which are required to be solved in unique creative ways. Until now, Indians have typically become people who can solve, crack analytical problems. But when it comes to some real life problems, we have difficulty, the students with their background have difficulty in addressing them. So if you break down the requirements, we will see that there are 6 or 7 requirements that we have for a student, for a candidate who is, the next generation problem solver. The simplest one is, if I give you a problem and a solution, can you check whether the solution is correct? The second is that if I give you a problem, can you solve it? And if you can solve it, then there are 2 parts to solving the problem. One is called interpretability. Can you tell me the steps by which you solved it? The other is called explainability, which means that can you tell me why you use those steps to solve it? The third part which comes up is that if I give you a wrong solution, can you find the mistake? And can you tell me what is the mistake? The more interesting thing is that if I give you a problem, can you actually formulate a problem? Can you tell me what is a good problem? And can you really define a problem? Next is, in order to solve a problem, you may need to do many other things. You may need to set up experiments, you may need to talk to people, you may need to find out something more, you may need to do surveys, and you may need to collect data, and so on and so forth. So can you really do all that? Now, when we come to this juncture, and this is the type of people we want to make them, quote unquote, those 4 C's or whatever, you really need to decide how you are going to take these students through. And many universities, whether it's a management school or a technical school or an English language school or a design school, they cannot have the same exam for all of them, that we all know. The second thing is that everybody is not creatively identical and identically posed. So how do we now, at the intake level is very important, because at this point in time, we really want to assess the student, assess the candidate, and find out what are their quote unquote intrinsic abilities. An intrinsic ability is different from a subject matter ability. So this intrinsic ability, we all know, we all are aware of creative skills, analytical skills. We are all aware of, creativity and thinking and things like that. But the question is, how are we going to assess them? And this assessment can only be done by an advanced and a very professional teacher on a one-to-one personalized basis. And obviously, it is going to be very difficult to do that at scale for India. But here is where technology and modern AI comes into the picture. In modern AI, we are now able to train modern AI technologies with the help of human level experts and create some mechanisms to really set questions of certain kinds with solutions which we can go through the solutions with them. We can therefore look at a question and we know that this person knows a question in physics flow of water, flow of something. But if we pack this question and restate it in another form of people moving around in places, we can check whether this candidate is able to map a problem of one domain to another. We are also able to figure out whether where they are getting stuck if we are able to do a set of sequence of questions in an adjusted manner. You can set your options in such a way that from the wrong option you will be able to find out which concept they got wrong. And once we have this in place, we come to this new concept of computer adaptive test. A computer adaptive test is not a fixed questionnaire. It is a questionnaire that goes on as and when how the candidate is performing with the system. And this is what we need today. Some of my own students have startups where they are able to solve problems, and you are aware today that the latest, AI tool is able to solve problems at the level that they are getting scores better than JE Advanced Rank 1. So they are not even able to do just that, they are able to figure out where in the concept the student is wrong, which part of the concept to ask, and therefore the plan that we are thinking of, which India needs, is that we will bring together the might of all the teachers, create a foundation model which can become a really good agent to assess how good a student is. Where are the weaknesses? Where are the strengths? And at the end of the day, you can keep it for a competitive exam, which is fine, but you can also make sure that you are able to put the student in the right perspective, explain to the student themselves or to the exam holder exactly where are the key strengths and where the student needs improvement. Let me give you an idea of how we are going to create such an exam. See, you are going to give a question for which there may be three or four answers. And there are four or five conditions and objectives which are conflicting with each other. We want to see what is the creative solution to that. And today, with the new concept of LLM as judges, where multiple LLMs can assess students in a particular way, we are able to really figure out the novelty, the creativity. We have published our own papers on that. Novelty, creativity, obviousness, and things like that. So once you give a problem, you can also today measure whether the solution has enough empathy, whether the solution has enough inbuilt facts, which is not a cutthroat optimization solution. So if we are to create people in from this country and wherever it's in the world, outside this single monochrome mechanism of ABCD choices, being able to plug in formula, come and give 23 mock tests, therefore your 24th mock test is going to be the best. That is where we are going to really attack the problem at the right place. And entrance at before you join college is the right place, because there is a huge difference between college life and school life or up to 11 and 12, as you can see. And this difference, people should come in with a situation and they should know that technology can be used in a friendly, compassionate manner to give you the best guidance possible. It is with this aim that we are carrying out our research to figure out what is the next question I should ask. Why should I ask that question? How do I take the student through a coverage of a sequence of topics? So whether you want, so this assessment, solving, and content generation, and the whole of the delivery enchantment, as it is called. You have to pose the question in such a way that it looks nice, it gives them comfort and a joy to solve them even if they are wrong. So this whole part of changing the whole of the paradigm of education to joyfulness, to the joy of learning, to the joy of knowing that I don't know this and this is how I will know it again, to be able to solve problems in a unique way, to be able to collaborate with two people to solve a problem. And there are unique ways to test it now. And we will use a combination of the best teacher's knowledge and the best part of AI to produce this, and which will go through a series of cycles of improvement and back calculation, so that we are able to create a paradigm that is completely unique and different. So this computer adaptive test with these four C's is just a starting point thought. And there are a whole plethora of things that goes on for us to do this. So we would be very happy to learn from all of you, the best people. We are happy to take all your suggestions so that we are able to come up with something that is unique for India. And as Vinitji just pointed out, with the help of AI, we will be able to translate it into multiple languages. So you can actually have a question in multiple languages. And if you see, the response can be even later on speech. You don't need to write, type, or anything. And you can measure emotion, you can measure so many other things once we go into this computer adaptive test business, which is driven by AI but seeded by human beings. So with this, we are with a lot of hope. We are planning an interesting foray, and we look forward to all the suggestions, all the criticisms, and help us with all the testing that we can do. Thank you very much.